you log into your Medicare.gov account and you try to see if chemotherapy drugs are covered, you might be shocked, you might be alarmed. It might say no coverage, and that is under Medicare Part D or Part B. It depends on what drugs you're talking about. So chemotherapy typically is an infusion in a chemotherapy center or in your doctor's office. It's an IV drip, and that is covered, if it's in a doctor's office, that is covered under Medicare Part B, under the basic government Medicare A and B. Part B does not have that $2,000 cap starting in 2025. So if you only have government Medicare A and B, you could pay 20% of $100,000, $20,000. I don't like to throw out scary numbers, but there's a reason why we don't recommend people only have Medicare A and B, and that's because there's no maximum you could pay on that 20% for Part B. Now, if you have a Part D drug, and that's the Medicare prescription drug plan, the Part D plan, they do cover chemotherapy drugs, but if it's under Part D, then that means it's a pill that you're self-administering. And those pills for chemotherapy are extremely expensive. Now, you're in luck because 2025 is going to cap all Part D for any policy in the country. There's no longer a gap, a donut hole, anything you've ever worried about. The maximum you can pay per year, starting in 2025, will be $2,000. And they'll let you spread that cost out over the whole year. So if I have to take a chemotherapy drug and it's $15,000, I will pay zero at the pharmacy because I'm enrolled in the Medicare Prescription Payment Plan, M3P. I'm enrolled in that. So I go to the pharmacy and they tell me to enroll in it, and I didn't know. So I enrolled in it. I will go back and I will get my prescription. I will pay $0 at the pharmacy. Then they will notify the insurance company that I enrolled and that I got this drug, and the insurance company will charge me 1/12 every month for the cost of that chemotherapy drug, not to exceed $2,000. So if I'm taking a lot of other drugs, right, I might have already met the $2,000, in which case I wouldn't pay for that drug at all. So you get some new protections starting next year for Part D as in drugs. But if you're taking a drug in the doctor's office, that's Part B, that does not have the same protections. Now, you might have protection because you have a Medicare supplement, Plan G or Plan N. So you're paying your deductible and then you're done. If you have Medicare Advantage and you're taking one of these chemotherapy drugs, depends on your plan. There's 4,000 different Medicare Advantage plans this year. So you have to look at your plan, but I will shortcut it for you. Most plans in the country charge 20% for a Part B drug. Now, there are richer plans that I see, like in California, maybe some Florida plans, that don't charge that much, but the vast majority in the country tend to charge 20% for a Part B drug, your expensive drugs. But with Medicare Advantage, you have that maximum out of pocket. So if you have cancer, you've already had chemo, x-ray, PET scan, CAT scan, tumor removal, a whole bunch of other stuff, you might have already met your maximum out of pocket for the year, in which case you're not paying more for your chemotherapy drugs. But it will start over again in January. So yes, chemotherapy, radiation, your very expensive cancer drugs are covered under Medicare. How much you pay will depend on how you chose to structure your benefits. If you only went with government Medicare, you pay the most. If you have a Medicare supplement, you pay the least. And if you have Medicare Advantage, you're somewhere in the middle. If you learned something today, please get me a subscription, hit the subscribe button, and I promise I will get you ready for Medicare. If you like this video, you might really like this video. Check it out. And we'd appreciate if you subscribe to our channel so you never miss a great video. We put out one every week. Check in the description below this video for a link to our cheat sheet on Social Security and Medicare. And you can also give us a comment if you have a specific question. Always feel free to call us or email us at the Medicare Family.